Now that we've learned how to factor trinomials, let's take that knowledge and use it to solve some equations by factoring trinomials. So we've solved equations before that involved factoring, and the most important thing to do when you're solving an equation by factoring is, before you do anything else, we must set the equations equal to zero. Oops. Set equation equal to zero. And the reason we want to do that is because after we factor, we're going to have some things multiplied together, and we want those things multiplied together to equal zero, because anything multiplied together equaling zero tells us that the one of the things we multiplied is zero. That's how we actually solve the factors. So this first one right here, x squared plus 2x equals 15, is not equal to zero. So let's make it equal to zero. Let me erase this stray blue mark for my type A people that are going to be bothered by that and unable to pay attention. The whole video you'll be going, blue mark is driving me nuts. I see you, type A people. So I'm going to subtract 15 on both sides. I can't actually combine it with anything on the left because they all have variables. So I'm just going to leave it as x squared plus 2x minus 15. And 15 minus 15 is 0. So this is one of those factoring problems on the left where b is positive and c is negative. There's no greatest common factor, so we can go straight to our two parentheses. And I'm looking for two numbers that when I multiply them, I get negative 15, and when I add them, I get 2. Now, in the previous videos, I showed you how to find factors by making a table, so I'm just going to assume that if you aren't able to find those numbers, that you can make a table to find the numbers. So I'm not going to go through that in this video. I'm going to assume that you have some strategies to find the numbers. In this case, it's positive 5 and negative 3 are the two numbers we're looking for. Now, positive 5 and negative 3 go in the parentheses, meaning that x plus 5 times x minus 3 equals 0. And anytime you have two things multiplied together and the product is 0, either the first set of parentheses or the second set of parentheses or both set of parentheses are equal to 0. So this problem has two possible answers, and we need both of them. One of the possible answers is when x plus 5 equals 0, and the other possible answer is when x minus 3 equals 0. Okay, so let's solve these real quick. They're both pretty simple. One of them is x equals negative 5, and then we'll go ahead and solve this other one by adding 3 on both sides, and x equals 3. So these are our two answers, positive 3 and negative 5. Those are our two answers. The end. Set it equal to 0, factor, set the factors equal to 0. Okay, let's look at this next one. X squared minus 20x equals x. Again, it's not equal to 0, so our first step is to set it equal to 0. So we'll subtract x on both sides. And so we can't combine the x with x squared because they don't have the same exponent. So we're going to leave those separate. I'm going to write it in standard form, x squared minus x minus 20. There's no greatest common factor. So I go to the two parentheses. Again, we've got a negative c. This time we've got a negative b. So I need two numbers that I can multiply together to get negative 20. But when I add them, I get negative 1. And those numbers are negative 5 and positive 4. So x minus 5 times x plus 4 equals 0 means either x minus 5 is equal to 0 or x plus 4 is equal to 0. I need both answers because either one of them is correct. So I need both answers to have a complete solution. So either x equals positive 5 or minus 4 on both sides, x equals negative 4. And these are our two solutions, positive 5 and negative 4. So when you're solving a problem that involves factoring, you have to set it equal to 0 first. If it doesn't equal 0, you cannot solve the problem. Set it equal to 0, factor it completely, and then set the factors equal to 0. Right now, we just have two factors that we're setting equal to 0, but eventually we will have more. So however many factors there are, 2, 3, 4, 5 factors, each one of them gets set equal to 0, and that's how many answers you have. And you need all of the answers to have a complete solution. Just having one of the answers is only half correct. You need all of the possible answers to have a 100% correct solution.